In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create your very first agent on AgentVoice. So once you log in, this will be the very first page that you see. And this is your agents page where you're going to be able to see everything that's happening with your agents and all the agents that you have. So this section here will show you all of the activity with your agents and allow you to listen into them live and control and edit your agent as it's communicating with the customer live as well. So if you're looking to create one, there's going to be two different ways you can do that by clicking this create agent button or by clicking this new agent button. There is a third way where you're able to import an agent, but this is likely to come from somebody that you know or a tutorial that you've watched. Um, but most of the time, you're probably just going to go ahead and create this new agent here. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and create this button. Awesome. Now we've landed on the Create New Agent page. And here, we're just going to fill in some basic information with our agent. So we're not going to go through the full setup while we create our agent because that's kind of a lengthy process. But this kind of gets the skin and bones going for the agent so we can start to configure it exactly how we want. So the very first parts of the basic information are the agent name. And I should specify with this that this is not something that the agent can actually see. Okay, so this is for record keeping. So this could be customer support, right? This could be sales agent. It really just depends on your record keeping and how you want to be able to count for these. So in the event that you have 10 or 20 agents, and this is just named like Jenny or Frank, you won't really know what they're about. So this is, again, just a field for you so that you can see the agent's name and be able to recognize what it's for. All right, so let's go ahead and fill this in. So in here, I've placed Agent Voice Demo as the name. Okay, and the AI will not be able to see this. This is once again for our record keeping only. This down here is where we're going to be instructing it and providing it its name. All right. And in the second field here, how should I introduce myself when someone calls? This is how the agent and what the first thing the agent is going to say when it picks up the phone when somebody calls it, right? So not when it's calling someone else, but only when someone calls it on an inbound call. And this can also be on the web if someone starts a conversation with it on a website or something along those lines. All right. When it comes to outbound calls, when it's calling someone else or starting a conversation with someone else, that context may change on why it's calling. So that introduction may change and can be dynamic as well. So this is just for inbound calls once again. All right, so let's go ahead and fill out this field. So this is kind of a long introduction, but this is the gist, right? This is just what I'm putting in here for the demo purpose. But hello, this is Jenny with Agent Voice. I have the ability to perform complex actions, transfer you to up to 4 different destinations. I can leave voicemails and I can end the call. How can I help? So this is showing you that we are approaching our character length limit because we don't want this field to be super long, as it's just an introduction. And yeah, so you're able to, when somebody calls as agent now, this is going to be the very first thing that they hear. So this is what that field's for. Now for the instructions, essentially, we need to tell the agent who it is and how should it behave, right? That's kind of the gist. If you were to think about putting up a job description, what would be that highlight of the job description? What would be the title of that job description, the role that you're looking for? And so you're essentially creating your perfect candidate here, and you want to be able to tell it everything about itself and how it needs to behave. So let me show you how that can look. Now here I've put quite a lot of information in the instructions, and it is very easy to fill this up very quickly. So this is kind of a thought experiment on how you can very concisely explain what its role is. Okay, so I put in here, your name is Jenny and you're an intelligent automated assistant that can perform complex tasks like appointments, scheduling and handling, transferring calls, leaving voicemails, and being able to end the call when you desire to. You also have the ability to think about tasks before and after a call and have the ability to reason on things to do at those times. For example, when you finish a call, you can choose to add them as a contact or you could send them a message, send a message to a manager with updates, right? And these are all real things that it can do. And so as you can see, I'm approaching my character limit. So this is about where I need to stop and I'll have the ability to add on to this after the fact. But this is, again, just a very quick build, and after you have finished building the agent, then you can go ahead and proceed to add as much stuff as you would like. Then the very last thing, the fourth thing that you need to add in here after you've done the name, how it needs to introduce itself, and telling it a little bit about itself is the voice that you would like. And here we have tons of different voices that you can select, and we're constantly adding new ones as we find really good ones. Hope is auto-selected for you. You're more than welcome to use that if you would like. That is an English female voice. However, if you would like to choose a different language, you have English and Spanish, and we're working on adding more languages as we go. But they're all right here. If you want to select a Spanish language, all of these are capable of speaking in a perfect Spanish, pronunciation. They are very good at that. And if you just want English, then these are the options that you have here. So these little stars are kind of some of the ones that we highly recommend. The blue stars are the advanced voices with emotional intelligence. So they actually have the ability to change their tone and their pitch based on the situation, where other audio models that don't really have those capabilities. But these are they do not have the ability to access knowledge bases yet, as that is not part of their skill set. So they are kind of limited in use, but they are really good voices. And so that is all you need to do. Once you select a voice that you really like, all you need to do is scroll down here and hit this Create Agent button, and then you've got your agent. And so from here, you're able to click into it. And this is where you can really get nitty gritty with all the cool stuff. But for the sake of this video, I'm not going to go over everything that you can do with an agent. Just trying to show you how you can create one and get started. But once you're in here, you have the ability to hop into all these different settings and adjust it to be the best agent that you've ever seen, and hopefully very useful. So if there's any questions about how that process works, please email us at support@agentvoice.com and we would be happy to help.